mirror is a web page where you will be having all the APKs listed, various popular APKs listed. I would not say all APKs. All popular APKs would be listed over here, or most widely downloaded APKs would be listed over here. You can just search for a relevant APK which we can use as a test APK, which generally I tend to use Khan Academy. So if you just search for Khan, KHAN, you will be getting Khan Academy 7.10.0, which is one of the latest version APK, which is released on June 5, about a week ago. So you can get into that. You can search for under apkmirror.com, search for Khan Academy, KHAN alone as a keyword, and get into that screen and click on the download button at the right side corner, for which you will be navigated onto the download page. You will be having a couple of versions available. We need just the APK, not the bundle. So you can just download the no DPI APK file, which would get downloaded to your downloads. We will use this .apk to install the application on our device and launch the application downloaded. You can just go ahead setting up all your device environments. So you can enable developer option and then connect your device to the system. I am going to launch the virtual device. So once the virtual device is launched, let me just wait for a few of these downloads to go through, but yeah. I'll just initiate the mobile device. Step 1, make sure it is connected to the system by getting onto the terminal and putting in ADB devices in the terminal. So on terminal, just put in the command ADB space devices so that the device gets recognized. Make sure the device is unlocked when you do this. Just simply put in ADB devices so you get the device recognized. So this confirms that the device is well established and connected to the system. Then you can just simply put in the command APM to start the APM server. To make sure the device is connected and launch the APM server. And then you can go with APM inspector. Where you can pass on some of the basic capabilities. So when I say basic capabilities, you can just get into apm.io and look for list of capabilities that you can pass in with respect to Android UI Automator 2. Under UI Automator 2 driver, what all capabilities can you pass in? Those are the basic capabilities what we might have to populate in the APM inspector. So the capabilities are platform name, which is going to be Android. APM automation name, which is going to be UI Automator 2. Okay, and then I wanted the device name, which I'm going to give it the name emulator. And I want either the browser name or the app. So when you consider this, if you want to pass app as a capability, it is APM colon app. Else, if you wanted to pass browser name as a capability, that is, if you wanted to launch a browser screen and do a web application testing, it's going to be browser name as a capability. Depending on what you wanted to do, you can just mention them accordingly. So I wanted to launch an app, so I'll go with APM colon app, and I will try to represent a file path over here to represent where the app is or which app I wanted to work with. Where once you click on the file path, you will navigate onto this environment where you can choose the APK file that need to be updated. So app accepts APK and APKs. Both files are acceptable. It could also be a remote URL. If not, you can use app package as an alternate when the app is already installed in your mobile device. So these are all different configurations. Why no file is being detected over here? This is an APK file, still it is not recognized. So let me just get on to the downloads and I will capture the APK files directly. I'll get the properties of the APK files directly. So these are the properties. This is the location of it. So I'll just copy this location, convert it back into a text and put on that location directly over here. So ideally it should have picked the location itself, but it did not. So I'm just copying and pasting it. In order to make this a simple file, I'm just removing everything over there and giving it a simple name like khanacademy.com. Maybe because of those many extensions, it did not identify it. So with all these populated, you can save this capability for your future references. Under save as, where you can go to save capabilities and pick anything you want. So these are going to be the primary capabilities what you might need in order to launch an application. Beyond these primary capabilities, you can go with capabilities like network configuration and then orientation of the device like landscape or portrait. All of those you can do. So any queries or clarifications, till just click on start session. This should start setting up the application in your mobile device and launching the application automatically. These are the steps what it goes through. As you can see there, it has launched the application successfully on the device. Once the application is fully launched, once the home page of the application is loaded, you will be getting an inspector window on top because we have run it from APM inspector. You will get an inspector window on top, something like this, which gives you the mobile screen as is. So basically this is the screen what you have on top of your mobile. But earlier to this, we had a white screen. That is what is captured over here. It's sort of a screen capture with the structure of the code behind the screen. So you can just do a refresh of the capture where the current available screen will be captured. Now you can just simply click on the target elements to start identifying the properties of that elements. So if you can see through over here, this is the XPath of the element. And these are various attribute value pairs of that element using which you can write your customized XPaths, or you can write by property of your choice and then utilize it. So anything that falls into text, you can just use UI selector text and all that as different locator strategies. So let's say you wanted to click on this settings icon. When you just tap once on it, you can see that this is the XPath of the settings icon where content description is equal to settings has come in. Similarly, you wanted this title, just click once on the title, you will get the title updated. All the details of it comes up. So this is how you inspect element. Let's say you click on the sign in button. Once you click on the sign in button, there are chances that the page will get loaded. So there is a record and playback option as well available in the Selenium IDE. So once the application is launched, you can just click on this icon, which would start recording. You can perform all the operations you want. So just select this element. That's the element on which I wanted to do the click activity. So you can use the tap. Tap is going to be the click activity. Alternatively, you have copy attributes to clipboard, get timing, and then you have clear send keys operations available where you can type in your input and then do the send keys. So I wanted to do a tap, just hit on that. Automatically a tap happens on it and you go to the next screen. And the code corresponding to that is captured over here in Java JUnit structure. You can choose any programming language and any framework structure over here. If you're working with JavaScript WebDriver or JavaScript WebDriver IO or JavaScript Oxygen HQ as different automation frameworks, you can use any of these and you can work with the components inside them. So that's how things are going to be working on over here. So all that you will have to be dealing with now is just simply go forward with interacting with the elements on the screen. Let's say I wanted to click on the sign in again. You can look out for which is a better locator and then use it accordingly. Just do a tap. It'll capture that again where it goes into the sign in page. So here I wanted to do a type activity. So I'll try to do send keys test@gmail.com, password send keys, welcome@123, sign in button. tab should actually load the page and give us the error message at the top. So you can refresh the page once again so that we get the error message at the top. We can validate whether this data exists. So assertions and all that are not built in over here, but they can be under the action section where you can just create list of actions and you can just simply update it. So basically when I say actions, it's like zoom in, zoom out, pinch, all of that are going to be various actions that you can deal with. And you get various commands connected to the environment over here. So let's say, for example, I wanted to deal with this particular session. Under session, there are all commands which these are all the commands which deals with basic activities. Device specific commands, these are all going to be the device specific commands. So you can decide which command you wanted to interact with. Let's say I wanted to validate the title, that's the ultimate scope. You can check through which command would do that validation of title. So under device, we have execute script, Android activity, app, clipboard, file, interactions. Interactions is something like the tap and then send keys, all of that comes into interactions. And then you have the keys which are like volume up, volume down keys and all that. You have network performance, iOS simulator system. So let me go to interaction. As you can see over here, you have shake, lock, unlock, is device lock, rotate device. These are part of interactions. Under keys, you have press key, long press key, hide keyboard, is keyboard shown, etc. So device is not the ideal one. Let me go to web commands. We have just navigate alone. Nothing much available under the context. Again, we'll have just the window management. So we do not have it yet available. Maybe they'll have to update this a bit more in order to have the commands such as assert, validate and all that. We'll have to manually put them up. So you can just write a code which can take care of tap on that particular element. So you can try to do a tap on that particular element. Once the tap is captured, probably you can convert the tap into assertion or validation if you wanted to go with copy pasting the code. So your Selenium code is going to be same, no change in that. Additional to that of your Selenium library, we will add something termed as Java client library, which will take care of executing mobile specific commands. That is all the difference is all about. So any queries or clarifications till this point, you can get it clarified. Just start exploring through. Any blockers you hit. So ideally, if you want to be dealing with commands like key press, that is volume up, volume down and all that, you can just go with press key, where you can use the key code or metastate or flags in order to identify which key to press across. So these are key codes and you can identify what is the volume up key code, volume down key code. You can try to pass that code value over here. It will try to do the press activity of that volume up, volume down, power button or home key, etc. for you. So let's say press key 1. execute action. So we have got a null. Basically, this is what press key code commands are all about. So let's see all these in detail in the programming perspective. I will just stop the session and come out of it. So this is what is the basic capabilities with which I wanted to initiate a mobile application. In that perspective, let me just get on with the coding part. So you can get into apm.io quick start guide. You can get into apm.io the quick start guide. Into this, you can just see through where you have write and run a simple APM automation script using a sample application. Under that, you can see we have APM client required. So you will be having APM clients as a requirement. If we wanted the Java client of APM, you can just click on APM Java client. You can actually get into MVN repository. And there you can just search for Java client library, which is going to be from IO APM. There is a release on June 3, which is just about a week ago, which is version 8.5.1. We'll start using that version. So I hope you guys would be already aware of Maven repositories, managing Maven and all that. The Maven code and paste it inside this dependencies. It can be just this pom.xml file. Immediately you can see that there would be a download triggered and all the required dependencies would be downloaded. I don't think Java Selenium came into picture properly. It just has comments dependencies, not the Java client dependency yet. So let me just refresh the project. So run as Maven install. Just right click on the project and choose run as Maven install. That will take care of downloading all the required libraries and all that and setting up the project. Now you can see that it is updated. Once you run it as Maven install, you can go with Maven update project. These are some standard activities what we do at the Maven level to make sure the project is all updated. As you can see over here now, Selenium API, all of that is pulled in. So you can choose Maven install and Maven update, run as Maven install, and under Maven you can choose update. So once all so under the Java client, we'll be having that information. Yep. So if you see JavaScript command, this is how it's going to be. But similarly, we'll have to put it across in Java. So let me just go with what I have been doing earlier. So we have something termed as desired capabilities. Let me just go to the Java client library. Yep, we have got it available here. So under UI Automated 2, we have UI Automated 2 options as the new updated feature. Earlier, we used to have it as desired capabilities. So let me just pick this up. This is what is going to be the basic components with which we launch the application. I'll just pick that up and then I'll put it across over here. So we have the UI Automated 2 options. Put up with set UDID, we don't need the UDID actually. So let's just import the UI Automated 2 options. It is there in the Java client GitHub URL. Let me share that for your reference. I've just shared it across in the chat. So you can import the required components. So once you're done with this, you can just go with every capability that you want. So whatever capabilities we have used in launching an application, that is platform name. Set platform name. You can just simply use platform.android. So these are all some components what are readily available that you can use to update the different components. Or you can mention it under double quote string as well. This way. So I want the platform name. I want the automation name. Automation name is UI Automator 2 already because we are using that UI Automator 2 options over there. It knows UI Automator 2 is what is the automation name. You can just go with the device name alternatively. Or you can use this set capability. If that device name is not already available, you can use the set capability where you can set your user defined capabilities. That is APM colon device name as the capability and the value for it. So let me put it across at the end. is it not working here? Okay. So we have set app already available. Let's just set the app and see through if we get any error. Then we can update the other components. So for the app, I'm going to just pick this location and pass it on over there. That's it. With this, it's going to launch the application in your mobile device. From this 127001 or 00004723. So 00004723 is termed as localhost 4723 alternatively. On that location, I want these capabilities options to be deployed. So this would launch the application automatically. You can try executing this. For this, you don't need to launch the inspector. You can just straight away run the code. And it should start sending out commands to this particular browser window. Because this is where 00004723 runs. As you can see here, it has just captured all the information, started sending out commands into this browser window. We have got a socket hangup that could potentially be, yeah. So now you can see that the application is launched in the device. So with this, the APM is all launched and you have a handle termed as driver. With the driver handle, you can keep doing what you have been doing earlier. Driver.findElement.click, driver.findElement.send keys. All of that are going to be the same with this driver handle being utilized across.